Hello YouTube, and welcome to your third tutorial on how to create a first-person shooter game. We'll just fire up Unity to get started. Right, now you see it comes up by default to the project we last worked on, if you have not switched to the project. So now, after in the last two tutorials, which were pretty long, we discovered how to use Unity and the basic concept of it. We'll be getting into creating our game now, and after we have created a player that can move around the world, we will now want to give it a gun, because this is obviously a first-person shooter and there's no shooting without a gun. So before we do that, let's just name our player object player, just like so. And we're done with that. We'll just take a cube to represent our gun for now. Be a game object, just a game object to act as a gun until we get some art assets. Call it gun, just like that, and we'll just scale it a bit, to look a little more friendly. So yeah, we'll make that 1.5, I think, 0.3. and 0.1. There, perfect. Now we'll drag that inside our player, and we'll reset only the position. Right. Oh, and the rotation. No, rotation's already set. Alright. Now you don't see the gun through the camera right now, and you'll never see it because it's in the side over here. So what we want to do is we want to bring it to the camera, to the front of the camera, to kind of a first-person view perspective, like you're holding it. So the way we do that is we rotate it 90 degrees on the Y. Perfect. And you know how to do that. Alright, great. Now after you've got it set up and called it gun, we want to make a component that basically a script that will run it. We're gonna program our very own component that will act as a gun. So to do that, we'll create a new folder. So we want to keep our project organized. Call it scripts, and inside there we'll create a JavaScript. Call it gun. There. Now it's a worthless component. So first we attach it to the gun object, and now we give it some worth. We program it. Right, so just to start off the program, for those of you who don't know programming, then just go along and do what I do, and you get the hang of it. Although you should really check it out and learn it good. So first of all, we declare our variables. Var sparks transform. Now the way you declare variables in JavaScript is you tell it var is a variable, the variable name, these two thingies, and then its type. I want to make it of type transform because it's going to be a game object, and yeah, it has the axes of a game object. So second variable we want to make is var ammo. We'll make it of type integer, which is a single number. We'll set it to 0. You know what? No, we'll set it to 100, just for tests. And then the next variable we want to declare is var fire rate, and we'll make that of type float, which is a decimal variable, and we'll make that 1.2. Yeah. That should be good for now. Now inside you see here a function that's called update. Inside here, and whatever you write inside this will be called every frame of the game. So for now we just want to check every frame if the mouse button is pushed. So to do that, we'll access the input class from Unity that gets all the input. So write if input dot get button, and then its name in the input manager, fire 1. And if you don't understand a lot of this now, it's okay. I will explain for the tutorials, but for now, just go along with it. Then open brackets. This is what you should have now. Now, after we checked if the button is pressed, we want to check if, according to the fire rate, we should fire another bullet, because we don't want it to just fire rapidly every frame. So we type if, and here we need another variable before I start this. Type private, which means it cannot be changed and it will not appear in the editor in Unity. It will just be on the script, and we'll call that next fire. Set that to 0.0. Oh, forgot the most important part, var, and make it of type float, because the time is float. Now we'll want to get the time, so time dot time, and if it's bigger than the next fire, typos, we'll want to set next fire equal to time dot time plus the fire rate. So next fire equals time dot time, which is the current time, plus fire rate, which is how much we want to delay it. So yeah, the smaller this number, the bigger the fire rate. So that's how it's gonna work. And now we don't want to fire the bullet just yet. We just want to debug, and debug means that to show us that we successfully fired a bullet. So we'll just say print, which will appear in the console, fired a bullet. Excuse me. There we go. Now Control S that, or save, or whatever. And now you should have no errors here. If you have errors in the script, they will appear here. And you should watch this bar too, where I'm pointing at with the mouse right here, because that's where it will print if we have fired a bullet or not. So you go here and click the mouse, fired a bullet, fired a bullet, fired a bullet. Now hold down the mouse. Alright, now you shouldn't see the thing, but if you count it, you fired a bullet, and when we held down the mouse, it went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you'll see that when we actually draw it. So that's all for now, and be sure to check out next tutorial for completing the gun. Goodbye.